What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream. Holy hell. I was listening to that Saitama space this morning. I didn't get to listen to all of it because it's 3 hours, but we're going to have a stream today. First of all, clickety-clack that like button, push us up in the old algorithm. Everything seems like it's taking a dump today, but especially Saitama. Now, that space last night, from what I'm hearing from all the community and stuff like that, it's absolutely insane. And just the snippet I watched is nutty. So we're going to go to the cryptocurrency market real briefly. Thank you guys so much for joining. I see all you guys in the chat already. I appreciate all the DGens. Unfortunately, last night, literally, I go out and then it's like the night that all this crazy stuff happens. So it'd be like that sometime, right? Selmo Fudd, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Says, just got to show my young brothers some super chat love. You work hard to provide great content to the DGens. Thank you, Mr. Dean. I appreciate you so much, Selmo Fudd. It's going to be a long one today, guys. I don't got nothing to do here for a few hours, so let's get it. I have Miss NFT, Queen in the chat. Crown and Crypto, MBK201, Shaman says, Bree, M. Henry, Samuel, Seiko Hunt, Racket Club, the entire squad, Joe B, Matthew Miller, let's go, baby. Prism Wallet, Crypto, Lou L. We got the whole squad in here, baby. Yeah, let's go. Clickety-clack that like button. Push us up in the old algorithm, guys. We got some stuff to talk about. And for the guy who came in my chat yesterday and spent an hour talking crap, telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about with Shib Vader, you can go eat an entire wiener. You know why? Because look at this shit today. So I want to see that same guy come back to my chat after telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Because look it. Absolutely insane. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about the market real quick, and then we'll get into the Saitama news. Well, over the past 24 hours, are up a little bit. Cryptocurrency is really starting to bounce off its support line. That's good for us, right? That's good. We want to hold here. Now, Terra is a different story. Terra is an absolute rug pull. And all algorithmic stable coins are following suit right now, which is really, really bad. The market does not look good, but at least the big boys are holding the floor. So that's good for us. If you're in an algorithm stable coin, I'm so sorry. Or Chib Vader, I'm absolutely sorry. You're fucked. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of the background story here, because yesterday, Feltron, arguably the most notable figure in the Saitama community, the Saitama community leaders, said something pretty crazy yesterday. And to me, it was shocking to everybody. I think everybody was like, whoa, like what's going on? And for him to say something like that, I think is very, very interesting. And it shows a lot about what's really going on in the space. Now, if we go to Feltron's profile here, very interesting. And like I said, he has so many followers. And for this guy to come out and pretty much denounce Saitama and say, I should have sold. Well, then, absolutely insane. Pretty much he said that he's out of Saitama and he should have sold at $13 million. So Feltron had here it is right here. He says, I'm all in on Colt, which is another project. I'm out of Saitama. I should have dumped at $13 million. Best of luck. So he's out of Saitama. And he made a pretty good reason for it. What's up, ASMR fan? We have Legal Alien. What's up, Anthony? What's up, babies? What's up, babies? Okay, so nuts. And when I saw this, I was like, wow. Very, very interesting. I mean, imagine watching $13 million dwindle down to whatever the fuck it is now. I mean, that has to be disheartening. And we know the story with Dr. Praveen. He had $77 million at all-time high. Absolutely crazy. Insane. Okay, so we're going to watch a little bit of this live space because at the end, some guy comes in and really just, oh, you hit 1K subs, Legal Alien? Congratulations. All right, so let's check it out. All right. I have to go to my burner account. So I couldn't even join the space if I wanted to, guys, because Softy Russ blocked me because he's a little baby.
How do we bridge that, right? Because trust me, I
need to be accountable for that.
As again, class, how to address that is
We're going to go into the end part of this because it's very, very good. It's very, very good.
Talk a lot about transparency and open to everyone
that we're caught in the middle of it all.
Current state.
Twitter Will do. I'll get in touch with my secretary. But yeah, and honestly, I like yeah.
So first of all, I just want to talk before we get into it. First of all, congratulations, Legal Alien. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We're gonna watch the rest of that. First of all, can you imagine like a real professional company having people like PR Torres represent them? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine an actual real company, a real serious project doing this shit? Do you think that would ever fly? Just imagine a legit company doing what they're doing last night. This is some Walmart ghetto ass Big Five vibe shit, isn't it? Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like hold hands and get everybody to sing kumbaya.
They're scalable Web3 businesses. And
we've got a community liaison. You know, there's got to be room for somebody from the dev to just
sound good.
Reach out once in a while. Like if a guy that's doing a YouTube channel.
Faltron, I wasn't joking. There needs to be a therapist.
Go to your room.
No, Faltron, you and Torres and Anime all need to get in like a therapy, you know, and
get out of here, you bum.
And Daddy Russ can
listen. I don't pay your ungrateful mom child support for a reason. Okay.
No, but I'm not even joking though. Like some type of mediator, so that when
it's gonna get better here soon.
The influencers of Saitama are fighting for whatever reason or arguing, is you sit them in a room together with a therapist of some sort and say, get the fuck over it. We've got a
project.
Shut
up, Trevor. Get out of here.
No, like you need therapy.
All right, well, I don't want to derail too much. I want to try because I do have to hop off here in a minute because I've already been on here for. I feel like I don't even know how long. It got to be close to like 3 hours now or more. So.
Can you just add, damn, that's crazy. DTC's down about 6 rows or maybe 10 rows. Pink, he's waving at me like crazy.
He's a beast. This guy's a beast, bro. This guy's a fucking beast.
Don't think I'm doing you some sort of favoritism here. I'm just adding you as a co-host so you can bring him up because I don't see him. And then I'm going to strip you of your rights. Your rights to co-host. So it's an unbiased room. Did you get him? There we go. Remove from co-host. Sorry, you had your moment. Now it's gone.
I got a Faltron, or I got a screenshot for Faltron. Don't worry.
Go ahead, man. DTC, go ahead, brother.
Yo, what's going on? I was gonna say I've been sitting down here for a while, and I appreciate the fact that we've been able to answer some questions. Thanks for your time. But I think that I could probably speak. I'm not a Saitama holder. I haven't been for months. But I still follow plenty of the people who were involved in the community. I rub shoulders with almost all these people. I talk with all these people almost every day. And as a former investor and somebody who would be willing to invest again, I mean, my only issue is that I watched this thing go from a $17 billion market cap to a $188 million market cap as of now. I mean, this thing's about to go into the twos. Like that's a problem. Like if I don't treat tokens like they're not. I don't treat them like projects. Tokens and NFT projects are Web3 startups. They're scalable Web3 businesses. And if I'm an investor in a Web3 business, why in the world would I want to invest in something that has been on a 120 plus day downtrend? Like I understand that Saitama was voted most transparent token, and how can we claim transparency if people are still saying that we've got 360 some thousand holders when your sister token doesn't even have like a tenth of that? How can we say that we have 360 some thousand holders when we don't know how many active users Site of Realty even has or Site of Mask even has, because those numbers have never been published. Like how are we supposed to believe what you're saying, or how are we supposed to have any faith in the token or faith in what you say if we don't even have the numbers to back that up for any reason? Like how can you sit in a room of 1,000 people and say that, well, we're doing this, but you can't publish numbers for an app that you say is the most revolutionary thing in the world. And I remember sitting in rooms before November, around Christmas time, where people were badgering Certic because they wanted the thing to get done. January, February, March, it officially rolls out. I mean, there have been so many different issues that have given investors plenty of reason to not want to invest. And I personally don't care about drama between two grown men on the internet. That shit's weird. But what I do care about is other investors and other people that have gotten their friends, gotten their family involved. I mean, I have personal friends. I have a friend of mine who got his old man involved. And his old man is down considerably and is probably never going to recoup that investment because of the leadership and because of the missed deadlines and because of the stuff that has gone on. We've had influencers who have told people to hold, meanwhile they're selling off their tokens. And I understand that you said that, you know, developers haven't sold off their tokens. So how is it that you wrote a contract for a UFC fighter, paid him in a token, but he can only sell off that token at the top? Anybody, if this were...
You hear that? They paid Islam Makhachev, and Ozan told me about this, Islam Makhachev in Saitama tokens, and they said he could only sell at the top. They paid Islam Makhachev a healthy amount of Saitama tokens, probably worth millions of dollars hypothetically in the future, who's going to dump when he can because he's not stupid. A UFC fighter, Saitama tokens. Think about that. That's nuts. That is nuts. And keep in mind, what people are telling me is that they never expect this guy to come in and just jump off the top ropes like this. Absolutely insane. DTC absolutely owning this room. Exactly. How do you define top? Interesting. Let's go.
Any other token, people would say that that's a red flag. But because it's Saitama, it's not a red flag. How is it that we have... that makes zero sense. None. That makes no sense that you can sign somebody to an NDA that says that you can only sell here and you expect them to honor that agreement. And if there is a PR team that is doing something and they told you don't talk to your holders, you should fire them. They're wasting your money.
So let me here, I'll start from the beginning. Well, I'll start from then and go backwards. The UFC guy that we have on, no, I never ever said we put him under contract and you can only sell at a certain price point. No, there's a grace period there that you cannot receive the tokens and then turn around the next Tuesday and sell them. Right. So I think it's like 6 months or something like that.
Well, that's still a thing. You still said, hey, you can't. It's 6 months hypothetically when they pump again, right? Okay.
That was part of the agreement. It doesn't have anything to do with what the price is. It's just a time length involved. So I didn't say anything about that. The Etherscan report, there is 370,000 holders. Right? How many of those are holders or wallets that hold less than $5? I have no idea because I haven't gone through each one of them.
Then you can consider those people active holders. Those are people who have sold, because those are people who have sold, and if they've sold, you can't do anything with $5 worth of tokens. I'm pretty sure that I think the math works out that I think it's around. I want to say that it's around 50,000 people or less than that hold. I think it's like $200 or more, or something along $500 or more, something along those lines. I did the math a while ago. I don't have it up right now. But you can't claim that you have holders when those are people who've sold out and moved on. That doesn't count. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I mean, it's semantics here nor there. I don't know how many people have more than $5 or $10, or I don't know what you consider to be a holder and what your dollar value that you put on that. Because I know people that have $20 worth of Saitama that are out there screaming to heavens that are excited about it because they're excited about their 10 billion or 50 billion tokens that they hold. So who am I to say what people should be considered a holder at? And maybe that's a lot of money to them. There's a lot of holders in other countries that don't have a lot of money. So who am I to say that?
Russ,
I mean, if it's like 10 pennies, yeah, that's a different thing. But
I mean, Russ, don't get me wrong. I don't mean to be insulting, but there is nobody out here shilling Saitama that has $20 that's happy about it.
How do you know? That's a very blanketed statement. Who are you to say that? Are you all knowing?
No,
you're basically saying what people should be excited about. Are you telling me that if I have $20 that I shouldn't be excited about it?
Russ,
you don't know how much money I have.
Russ, I'm not all knowing, but I'm not dumb.
So you're just basically telling what other people what they should be excited about or not? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, what point are you trying to get at here? Are you trying to say that there's not as many real holders that we
Dick.
believe?
Well, what he's
absolutely. That's exactly
what DTC. Let me explain a little bit better. Is a reflections token? You can't actually sell every single token that you have.
No, I'm aware of that, and that's why I'm
saying
wallets that are left are dust. They're dust wallets that
Correct.
people are not that are not people. They're not using it.
Yeah, so I'm just explaining why that there's like a bunch of empty wallets, so per se, where it is just dust. It's so people who have sold.
Yeah, I know that those are people that have sold, and so they have sold out of the token for a specific reason. So those are not active holders. You can't get rid of you can't get rid of that. But to say that we have 365,000 some holders, like I'm looking at this thing now, it's what is this? The increase in holders has been like 0.286%. Like for a token that's a year some old, almost a year old anyway. I mean, that kind of growth is abysmal. I mean, like if this were a normal company with a board of directors and shareholders, the board of directors would be probably trying to waterboard you right now, asking where the return on their investment is. And to even add to that, how is it that you guys? You said that it takes like 100 G's, 80 G's to keep the thing running every month, and you guys are obviously a dev team. There's you've got multiple moving parts, all that other stuff. But how is it that you guys are 20 days out from liquidity unlocking on a project that had $17 billion market cap, all this money flowing around in Web3 and DeFi? How is it that you guys haven't had a meeting about what you're going to do in 20 some days? Like that is not a good enough answer for your holders and your investors. Like period. If you've known for a year that this is when this date happens, this is when your liquidity unlocks, how is it that you can creep up and say 20 days before this deadline, you don't have something to give the investors already?
We do, and actually it hasn't been a year because we relocked it in November. So we have a plan, and we're putting a business plan together to put out and display and break down the decision process, right? And all the moving parts and what we're doing. So we'll put that out for everybody to see.
Is it more beneficial for you guys to do a V2 or to leave it as is?
It's beneficial to do a V2 to fix some of the issues with the contract that we have now, with the ownership having, multi-sig function and complete ownership.
First of all, you could tell that Russ is pretty stunned right here because this guy's coming with cool, calm, collected facts, just presenting a reasonable argument. I mean, it's something we've been talking about on this channel for a while about the holders. And really, the issue with the V2 is the fact that when you migrate, you're only going to get, like you said, 50,000 people who have actually over $200 worth of Saitama in it or something like that. And it's going to show how powerless Saitama really is. And they love having that 360,000 holder thing on paper. They love it because that's one of their talking points, right? A lot of people who don't know about Saitama don't understand how many of those wallets are dust wallets. Well, we know, right? We know, but a lot of people don't. And this is good that he's in a space right now where everyone's out there, where everyone's listening because Saitama Guru's in here and they're hearing this guy say it, because when it comes from people that are like literally that are associated with us, me, Ozam Austin, anybody, no one's going to listen to us because they think we're fudding. But this guy is talking that shit for everyone to see, which is absolutely fantastic. A V2 is the only way, a fresh start. Fire fucking all these goons, because Saitamask is not a bad idea. It's just run very, very poorly, right? And built off a bunch of lies. So this is getting really, really interesting. Let's keep going. Yeah, he's kind of shook right now. You can tell.
The liquidity, also to be able to possibly migrate some into the Saitamask Pro application. and make some minor adjustments to the contract itself to make it a smoother transition to a lot of the utility that we're creating.
Would you be willing to put out the amount of numbers or the amount of users that Saitama currently has?
Yeah, we have it. I don't know off the top of my head, but I mean, if it makes you feel better, we can publish that, I guess.
Well, it shouldn't necessarily make me feel better, but if you claim to be the most transparent token in DeFi, you would think that you would want to put the numbers out for your main utility.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably go on the App Store and see how many downloads there's been.
No, I don't mean downloads, because I've got plenty of apps downloaded on my phone that I don't use. I mean active users for the app that you created.
Okay. Just for you, I'll ask Max tomorrow if we can get a.
How childish! Just for you. Okay. Mature
statistic on, because we track all that stuff. We track all the users. We track every transaction. We track every crash. We track everything. It's all analytical. We have all the analytics.
And I think I'm not necessarily saying that that's not a good thing, but like I can turn on my PC, load up Steam, and load up a 4-year-old Call of Duty game and tell me exactly how many people are online. But the most revolutionary and transparent project in Web3, I have to ask you directly in a Twitter space how many months after you release this thing for users. I shouldn't have to do that, whether I'm a holder or not.
How would that be beneficial though? Like, how would publicizing that information being readily available, what good would that do? What would come from that?
For the actual sake of transparency, because that would because you would no longer be able to say you have X amount of holders and you have X amount of users.
It doesn't really make any sense. But for you, I mean, we'll do it. For the sake of argument, we'll do it. I just don't really see what's to be gained from that, to create a portal that shows how many active users we have on Saitama. So people use it, people don't. I mean, whether it's 100 or 20,000, what's the difference?
That would give you an accurate. That would give you
I have that accurate information actually within the team. I'm asking you, how would that benefit you specifically?
As a holder, it would let me.
Would that give you more confidence if I told you we had 2,654 active users on Saitama, or would it make you feel less confident?
Absolutely, that would. As an investor, because I know I heard you talk about doing your own research earlier. As an investor, if I'm super analytical, I want to know how many users, how much volume, how much people are spending, et cetera, et cetera. Like, as much as I appreciate the fact that you guys took the time to build an app, whether or not it, works flawlessly or not, that doesn't matter. But there shouldn't be somebody outside of your community that has to build a website to track the chart on your token in your app.
No, you can go on Etherscan. It's all on the blockchain. Saitama is a portal through the blockchain. That stuff is all public information. You just got to know where to look, and you got to be able to find it. It's there. It's all public. Every pair that we've made, whether it's Saitama and whatever other token we have on there, it's every transaction.
Actually, I should let me back up. I should be specific in the fact that I'm talking specifically about Saitama Realty. I don't want to say that. Like I can't find that information. Yes, I can, but I am specifically talking about the chart for Saitama Realty. Like that's not available on Dex Tools. There was an individual that I remember following on my timeline that had built a site, their own portal, essentially, that tracked that information. It had buys, sells, and
we don't
and red candles.
Yeah, we don't run Dex Tools, right? We don't. We've requested the pair be followed, tracked, and traced through Dex Tools several times. Like we've provided all the information, but all we can do is send that information and hope that.
My question is, first of all, clickety-clack that like button. Push us up in the old algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. Here's my question. Remember when Saitama Realty was first put out? Why is it some random motherfucker was able to take Saitama Realty tokens and create a pair on Uniswap and have a Dex Tools chart live the same day, but we can't get a Saitama Saitama Realty pair on Dex Tools? Why is it that guy can make one And say like Saitama team couldn't make one. I'll tell you why. They don't want to see you how terrible Sata Realty is. They don't want to tell you all the problems with Sata Realty. That's why. Now he's putting the blame on Dex Tools. Oh, we tried, but we're not getting anything. You can read all of those charts on SataMask, but you have to dig for it. New people to cryptocurrency are not going to go out of their way to go to Etherscan. Those are not the people using SataMask. We have newbies using SataMask. They want the chart in front of them. Why can't I just open up my phone and see it? Why? It's insane.
They follow suit and add that pairing option in there so you can track and trace each
it's
transaction for Sata Realty specifically. But it hasn't been done yet. So we have created our own Dex Tools reader proactively. It's not on our application now.
Thanks,
just like a lot of the other things that we've created, we are migrating to the SataMask Pro application to have it on there for everybody else instead of migrating the API on there now and then next month.
No, Ryan, I saw that, and we're going to get to that in a second, Ryan. We're going to see that.
Putting it over onto our SataMask Pro app. A lot of the things that we have, the staking and our e-payment system and Dex Tools reader and all that stuff, we're going to be putting it on our Pro version when we launch it. So,
okay. So, I appreciate you clarifying that answer. In regards to Fang, your NFT platform, obviously there are a number of NFT platforms that have come out. Obviously, you've got LooksRare, you've got OpenSea. There have been a number of exploits. There have been a number of problems with the sites. I personally know a friend of mine named Luke. He listed something on LooksRare and he had his entire wallet drained. He lost a ton of money and a ton of NFTs. I know people that have been exploited on OpenSea, Bored Apes, all these other different people. Now, given the problems that you had with Sata Realty's launch, people buying off the blockchain, all those exploits, those backdoors, those holes, how are you going to essentially launch an NFT platform? And how are you going to launch a safe NFT platform if you've had so many issues with your current platform? Like, how can you, as an, I mean, like my profile picture is an NFT. As an NFT buyer, like, how are you going to ensure that you're going to lock this thing down? How am I not going to have some massive exploit when I decide to connect to Fang?
Yeah, because we do like any other technology does. We run through beta, we test it, and we find our own weaknesses, chinks in the armor, we correct it, fix it, as we're doing right now. So Fang has been in beta. We've already found several exploits, as you call it.
It's not going to let me. I tried to go to my other Twitter, but since Saitama Guru blocked me, I'll put it back on right now. Unfortunately, Saitama Guru blocked me on Twitter. So even if I wanted to participate in this stream tonight, last night, I couldn't.
In the middle of it all time.
People.
We're back here.
Now, given
which is unfortunate,
problems that you had.
I can't show you guys all the memes they're making of me right now because, or Believes is making, which are funny because I mean I could do it on my alt, but it's just a softie. He makes a space called Everyone's Welcome, including Futters, and still has me blocked. What a little baby. Softie.
Sata Realty's
we call that soft.
People buying off the blockchain, all those exploits, those backdoors, those holes. How are you going to essentially launch an NFT platform? And how are you going to launch a safe NFT platform if you've had so many issues with your current platform? Like, how can you, as an, I mean, like my profile picture is an NFT. As an NFT buyer, like, how are you going to ensure that you're going to lock this thing down? How am I not going to have some massive exploit when I decide to connect to Fang?
Yeah, because we do like any other technology does. We run through beta, we test it, and we find our own weaknesses, chinks in the armor, we correct it, fix it, as we're doing right now. So Fang has been in beta. We've already found several exploits, as you call it, that we've shut down Fang because it's in beta. And we say, hey, we found this, this, and this. As just recently, a few days ago, and I think Gabe touched on it the other day, publicly on his Twitter post, saying that people were able to purchase an NFT and then use that same code or same ticket to then purchase another. That's obviously malicious in nature, and we can't have that. So they shut it down, and we're correcting it, altering the configuration of the platform, get it resolved, and then go back into bidding. And once we get to a point where there is no issues, everything has been resolved, then we'll make it go live. Just with any other kind of tech, any tech that's out there, right? You go through certain development phases. So Saitama, Fang, they go through these phases just like everything else. You beta test, you put it on testnet, and then you launch it. And if there's issues, then you fix them. And you move on.
Is Max also working on Fang?
Yeah, everybody works on everything. We have everybody working on a lot of different projects simultaneously, to get them out. And security has always been the most important thing. That's why we had the certificate audit done. That's why we found issues when we were on State Realty. People were pushing transactions through the router, so we created our own router. Some of these things you can test until you're blue in the teeth, but once you're not really going to know until you actually go live with it, and then you notice it. So you shut it down, you fix it. You correct the error, you put whatever mitigations you need to put in place, and then you move on. And that's what we've done.
So going back to what you were just saying.
Okay. Remember when Steve at Rocket Crypto, we had that DM conversation? Remember at Steve at Rocket Crypto told me that SataMask never really worked and everyone's calling me a fucking liar, all this shit. Classic Crypto disowned me because Steve at Rocket Crypto, the guy that was part of the dev team, was saying shady things about Saitama. Remember when he said that SataMask doesn't work, it will never work, there's an issue with it. Remember that? And now the fact that they're creating SataMask Pro before SataMask has been out for 3 months, isn't that interesting? Doesn't it all make sense now? Crazy. Isn't it crazy? It's almost like Steve at Rocket Crypto knew something we didn't, right? Insane.
And so Max was working on SataMask and he was working on Fang. So do you think that can you say with confidence that the reason why SataMask was going through a bunch of the engineering problems that it had was because you didn't have the people that you have now? That Max was essentially, he was stretched sort of thin?
No. I mean, these guys are completely confident what they're doing. We can only do so much with so many people that we have. That's why we brought in more resources, because you can always benefit from having more people, more eyes, more experience, more QA. It makes the process more streamlined, and it also cuts time. We QA with the folks that we have, and ran our audit, and we have 13 working smart contracts within SataMask itself. So it's not a words with friends app. It's very complicated, and as we coded and constructed everything from scratch, it's even more. It's not a Uniswap scan. It's a completely organic swap mechanism that we put with organic pairings to our native token Saitama. So with that, there's going to be some bugs that need to be ironed out. It's impossible to not.
Yeah,
regardless
no,
if you have 10 or 100.
I understand that, and I understand that there's always going to, it's technology, and there's human error. There's always going to be issues. To go back to one other thing before I know that it's probably late, and you probably got other stuff that you have to handle before you crash. I understand that, like Faltron was saying earlier, this is DeFi. Things aren't free. Devs have to pay for things. I completely understand that. And most of the people that I know in this space are developers of their tokens in their own right, or they have to do specific things to be able to pay for things. But I think that Saitama is one of the only tokens that I can think of that hasn't had a V2 just yet. And because you guys don't have a marketing wallet, I understand that whole thing that you guys had to do with the commission to be able to fund that wallet to give you guys marketing money. I noticed the other day, I looked at the commissions chart. It looks just about as, it doesn't look that great. There isn't a whole lot of volume going into that token right now. And I also know that you guys have to sell stuff to pay for stuff. And I understand that you say that there are developers who are not selling. I understand that you say that there are people who, top wallets. It doesn't necessarily matter who they are, but saying that there are developers who aren't selling is not true. The only reason that I say that it's not true is because I remember in November, and I have screenshots, and you can go back and look at the blockchain or whatever it is. You can go back and look at
tokens purchased and the date and the wallet that's assigned with it. I looked at Namtran's wallet because Namtran has posted his own wallet on his own timeline with screenshots. I went back in Etherscan and looked at the date. Nam's wallet ends in 6C4E. Namtran has been selling his tokens. Why?
You have to ask him. I don't know. Is that his wallet? I don't have Nam's
No,
wallet.
that is no, Russ. I'm not bullshit.
Okay. Why has Namtran been dumping Saitama? Why? We knew this, right? This motherfucker. Why? It's so good to see someone ask him. And I don't think anybody could beat this guy's delivery. I don't think I could have went up here and talked like this guy. I just couldn't. You know? Yeah. Russ literally said, I don't know. You're going to have to ask him. Excuse me? Excuse me? Wait, excuse me? Wait, hold on. What? I don't know. You're going to have to ask him. What? All right.
Bullshitting. I'm not trying to FUD. I'm being honest. I've done the research. I've gone back and wallet dived. I've gone back and looked. You cannot say that there are developers who aren't selling. If I have a screenshot of somebody on your development team saying, buy the dip, I just bought it, here are my transactions, and then I go look at his wallet in Zerion, and he only has $998,278.72 of Saitama.
Okay. So that's what he has right now. So what you're asking me is you're asking why did Namtran liquidate some of his Saitama? Is that what you're asking me?
No.
Let me back it up for a second. Hold on a second. So when Saitama launched, and I know I went over this earlier, but you may not have been on here, or maybe you don't know, so I'll explain to you. Saitama.
How condescending, right? How condescending. And of course, Russ is going to talk around. Maybe you don't know, right?
Was launched from a deployer wallet, and as community members, myself, Max, Nam, and everybody else, we're just original investors. We invested in the token with our own money, and we bought tokens along the way. Sold a few here and there to pay for things. It's our own money, our own personal wallet. I hold a lot of different coins in my wallet, not just Saitama. But point being is those are not free tokens. Those are not deployed tokens we got from the deployer. Those are not airdropped to us. The tokens that we bought from the beginning up until now are tokens that we purchased.
Hold on. Just a reminder for you guys. Hold on, quick reminder. Hold on, just a quick reminder, guys. Just a quick.
Properties and everything I have is paid for. So, in reference to how that relates to Saitama, as you guys know, we don't have a marketing wall, so everything that we do is funded out of pocket, right? So the EFC sponsorship, 7 figures out of pocket. And that doesn't mean we sell Saitama to pay for it. No, we don't want to hurt the charts because we're holding.
Did you see what he just said right there in Scott Herman's show? This is not even a month ago, or a little more than a month ago. He said everything is being paid for out of pocket. This is on Scott Herman's show. Everything's being paid out of pocket. The Eagle FC deal out of pocket. He just admitted to giving people tokens. They can't. Right here. Everything's paid out of pocket. He talked about running successful businesses. Let's keep going.
Holders like you guys are.
That's where it comes from. It comes from our wallets, right? So we send it to them.
One more time, just because you didn't catch it.
Plenty of properties and everything I have is paid for. So, in reference to how that relates to Saitama, as you guys know, we don't have a marketing wall, so everything that we do is funded out of pocket, right? So the EFC sponsorship, 7 figures out of pocket. And that doesn't mean we sell Saitama to pay for it. No, we don't want to hurt the charts because we're holders like you guys are.
Okay. Let's continue. Let's continue with this bullshit. Let's run that back a little bit.
He has $998,278.72 of Saitama.
Okay. So that's what he has right now. So what you're asking me is you're asking why did Namtran liquidate some of his Saitama? Is that what you're asking me?
No.
Let me back it up for a second. Hold on a second. So when Saitama launched, and I know I went over this earlier, but you may not have been on here, or maybe you don't know, so I'll explain to you. Saitama was launched from a deployer wallet, and as community members, myself, Max, Nam, and everybody else, we're just original investors. We invested in the token with our own money, and we bought tokens along the way. Sold a few here and there to pay for things. It's our own money, our own personal wallet. I hold a lot of different coins in my wallet, not just Saitama. But point being is those are not free tokens. Those are not deployed tokens we got from the deployer. Those are not airdropped to us. The tokens that we bought from the beginning up until now are tokens that we purchased with our own money. I'm not going to go to NAM and say, NAM, did you sell 1 ETH worth of Saitama yesterday? Like, I had to pay this, or I had to buy groceries for my.
He just said we're not selling Saitama tokens in that video clip because we do not want to hurt the charts. Now he's justifying it after telling everyone for months that everything's being paid out of pocket with their own money because he's been involved in successful businesses. He's run a Berkshire Hathaway subsidiary, even though we know that he bought a Lamborghini late October, bought his wife a fully tricked out, probably $100,000 fucking SUV in the middle of the Saitama pump, and is literally bought new land for a new house. What we do also know is that he filed bankruptcy 2 years ago. What we do know is that he was in charge. He got in trouble for some forgery shit, right? We know all that stuff. We know that the team's been selling tokens all along the way. We know that on their Facebook, their friends and family, Saitama Guru and his girlfriend, their friends and family are shocked about how their lifestyle has changed. They're shocked. They don't understand it. And you know what they told them? Oh, crypto girl. So if people closest to you are shocked that you're making all this money out of nowhere, and you're telling us that you've been a successful businessman for years with no proof, no one knows anything. Do you know anything? The only proof I had is that Russ worked at a fucking at a museum. That's all I know. And he got in trouble there, right? That's the same year he got in trouble for forgery. So, I mean, it's like the pieces were always there, but now we're seeing this shit come to light because you can't lie. You can only lie for so long before people start noticing your bullshit. And now we're starting to see all the holes in their story. And now we have someone out here verbally picking this man apart, and now he's fumbling over his own words. Let's continue. Fucking
mom. I don't know. It's not my business. It's not my wallet. Now, if it was a deployer wallet and he was given tokens or their team tokens or whatever, and he's doing something shady, now we're having a whole different conversation. But I don't like to get into other people's business because guess what? It's not my business. It's not my wallet. That would be like me coming to you and saying, hey, DTC, did you sell your tokens yesterday? Because you told me to buy this project and I see on Etherscan that you sold. Why did you do that?
Now, don't get me wrong. I hear that. But I'm not a developer of a token that's on a 120 some day downtrend where people are being told to buy the dip and people are selling on top of them. If somebody buys, let's say $1,000 of your token, and then NAM or somebody else sells fucking 30 ETH, they just got used for exit liquidity. They're holding a bag that is worth nothing.
Are you telling me that? Are you telling me that NAM sold 30 ETH? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Or are you just using big numbers?
I mean, I'm using a general number, but I do know that NAM does sell in chunks of 20 and 30 ETH. And you can see that in the chart, and you can see that in Zerion if you decide to plug his wallet in. But what I'm saying is it's irresponsible for developers to sell off on people after people are telling them that things will be fine. I'm not worried about the chart because we have X, Y, and Z planned and all this other stuff. That's the bottom line, is the fact that if you're on a 100 some day downtrend and you're a developer, and as you and some of the other people have said, you've made your money outside of Saitama, then you should be responsible and tell people, hey, listen, we're developers. Because we're fine. Like, I don't need Saitama. I don't need to sell my tokens. Why? Because I'm fine. I'm not going to sell off on you and use you as exit liquidity.
So, I mean,
that's what responsible developers should do for the people who say, hey, you have an idea. I'm going to fund your idea. Developers work for people who buy into their tokens. Developers work for people who buy into their Web3 startup. That's the most irresponsible and misuse of your position as a developer to essentially use your investors as exit liquidity. That ain't right. That and I'm sure that would never sit right with anyone who is investing in a token. Nobody wants to get used for something, and then you find out nobody wants to be told, hey, if you hold, if you're responsible, if you're all this, if you're all of that, then nobody wants to go and look at their wallet and see that, oh damn, I just bought in.
Better refresh the page. Hold on. I'll get that back going.
I appreciate.
Oh, and so you sell 1 ETH worth of Saitama yesterday.
No, Russ, I don't care about you buying the Huracan. No, I'm going to
that too. Like if I am to that too. Like if
oh damn, I just bought in and then somebody just sold 30 ETH. Now, if somebody wants to talk about Faltron like they were talking about earlier, it's like, oh, well, he sold. It's like, yeah, he sold, but he held forever and then he bought back in.
That's so are you recommending we do a V2 and tag a 15% marketing tax onto it?
I mean, if that's what makes this, if that's what gets this token off a 120 some day downtrend, absolutely. If it gives you a marketing wallet that lets you pay for marketing and not have to pay for it out of your own wallets by selling off tokens, absolutely.
So I'm not gonna
put 15% on it.
So I'm not going to attempt to try to speak on anybody else in the development team and what they do with their personal wallet.
So that's an interesting predicament, right? So Russ is saying, should we relaunch a token? Because right now that's the buy and sell taxes for Saitama is 2%, but it doesn't matter because there's no marketing wallet, right? So pretty much what Saitama Guru is saying, oh, so you just think we should start a new token up and have a 15% tax? First of all, it doesn't have to be 15%. It doesn't have to be that, okay? It doesn't have to be 15%. And here's the thing. When you make a new contract, and you make it so you have a marketing wallet, right? Because the current Saitama contract doesn't have a marketing wallet in it. That's why they're selling their Saitama tokens, even though they lied to us and told us, like Russ said, I'm a successful businessman. I don't need to sell my tokens because I have money. None of us do. They've been selling all along. It's proven, right? Okay. The new contract would make it so all the buy and sell taxes would be done in the form of USDT or ETH, right? Whatever. You can use that ETH or USDT to pay for things without dumping your Saitama tokens. So we don't have to give people a bunch of Saitama tokens because what are they going to do when it pumps? They're going to sell it. If Russ needs money for a Lambo or whatever the fuck, right? You know what I mean? Or things to pay for the project. He doesn't have to dump $100,000 worth of Saitama tokens to pay for a deal. He could use the ETH, so it wouldn't dump the charts. So that's what you could do with the new contract. But they don't want to do that. I don't know why they don't want to do that. I think it's the holder count. They don't want people to know that they don't have any hold. I bet you when Saitama migrates, if they migrate, they're only going to have 50,000 holders on paper, and that's not going to look good for them. That's why they don't want to do it. That might be the final nail in the coffin, right? So interesting. So this guy's like, oh yeah, Saitama Guru's like, oh, you want me to 15% tax? You want me to just tax everyone? It's like, yeah, motherfucker, it's better than you guys dumping the charts every time you need to pay for a new addition to your fucking mansion. Yeah, how about we do that instead of you dumping the charts on us? You know, it's like, yeah, we want that. Jeez, there are so many cryptocurrency products with 7% tax in, 7% out, roughly 15%, right? 14, whatever. That would be fine. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. Let's continue.
But I can speak on myself because I speak for myself. My wallet specifically, I have, and I've said before, have utilized about 60% of my entire holdings, not just Saitama, to help push the project forward, right? Because yes, I have been successful long before crypto. So I know it takes money to make money. I've been in business a long time. I went to school for a long time. I know what it takes, and I've built many of them before. Not crypto, but in the real world, this other place that I live outside of the internet. So I've utilized my own funds. And if you want to talk big numbers, I can tell you I've probably put about $5 to $7 million into Saitama between liquidity, purchasing things, marketing, development,
bullshit,
creating all the different things that we've done and what we continue to do. But I'm okay with that, right? So I know where this is going to go in the utility that we're trying to create. And you're saying we're on a 120-day downtrend. I get it. I understand. We hit a very, very high market cap in a very short amount of time. We launched May 31st, and we hit a 16 billion market cap by November. So what's that? June, July, August,
I remember.
So
I was
6 months.
And don't get me wrong. I understand that you put a whole lot of money into it, and I understand that your own personal money. That's what people do with businesses. They invest their own money, and they want them to work. But there are people who invested money that they've saved, and I would never tell anybody to over leverage themselves, especially in a market that we're in right now. But the main point is, don't say that devs aren't selling when they are. It's nice that you put all the money into it. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that I made the entire reason why I'm even speaking in this space right now is because of this token and the people that I've met in here. But did you make a profit? Did you make profit on Saitama? No, I listened to some of our favorite influencers, and I held. And I could have had 70 or 80 grand, and I didn't do that.
Listen to me.
So when you capped out, were you in the green or in the red?
No, I was in the green, but I took my stuff and I moved over to a different blockchain. So
okay, so that profit you made, can I have that back?
No, absolutely not. No, why? Actually, no.
But you benefited from my money. I put $5 million in the Saitama.
What kind of dumb fucking CEO would say something like that? No, I want you guys to sit here and simmer with that. I want you to sit here and just think about what Russ just said right now. What kind of dumbass? First of all, like the stream, clickety-clack that like button, push up in the old algorithm. Stop what you're doing right now, like the stream. While you're sitting here marinating with that big basket of dumbassery, right? That big marinade of dumbassery. Who says that? Who says that? Well, you can't make this up. Move over, Steve Jobs. Russ is here, baby. You can't make this stuff up. Can I have my money back? You've been selling. Oh, Lord.
And you benefit from it, because if it wasn't for the development team to push the token and the product to the next level and get that market cap and what you capitalized on, you wouldn't have made any money. So right?
You want my PFP Dragon and my 11 Gs?
So I was just saying, I mean, if we're speaking facts here, like, shouldn't I be entitled to that too? Like, if I'm,
then you know what?
Part of the reason why you made money.
You should let me drive the Huracan then.
Why?
Because you know what? Everybody should be allowed to drive. No.
He said you should let me drive the. He said you should let me drive the motherfucking Lambo. He said, let me drive the Huracan then. Ooh, oh no. Oh, here we go.
No, but everybody else did.
No,
oh! Hold on.
Or saying that people don't have the dev team's wallets, or people saying that people don't.
I've been in business a long time. I went to school for it. I've been in business a long time. I went to that too. Like, if I'm,
then you know what?
Part of the reason why you made money.
You should let me drive the Huracan then.
Why?
Because you know what? Everybody should be allowed to drive. No, but everybody else did.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
Do you think I worked at McDonald's before I started Saitama?
No, I don't think you worked at McDonald's, but I do know that you obviously sold something. It's a 250.
How do you? So now you're speculating.
I don't need to speculate, Russ. I can go find Russ. There are people who have your wallet. Saying that nobody has your wallet, or saying that people don't have the dev team's wallets, or people saying that people don't know. People do know.
So you're assuming that I purchased my elaborate car by selling Saitama and rubbed it in everybody's faces.
This is equivalent to walking in on your girlfriend blowing some guy, and then she's like, his dick was just in my mouth. I was not enjoying it. It wasn't, there was nothing sexual about it. His wiener was just in my mouth. Like, literally. That's, babe, babe. No, it wasn't sexual. It was just in my mouth. He just told me to taste it real quick. You know what I mean? You're speculating now.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Rubbing it in everybody's faces, no. Listen, if you went and bought a Lambo, I could give a shit, man. But what I am saying is that if you bought a Lambo because people bought into your token and you sold tokens off of them while you were saying, hold this, support this, but I'm going to sell my tokens, that's wrong. That's all.
But you don't know me. This is the first time we've ever had a conversation. How can you tell me that you know my financial
Actually,
situation?
no, this isn't the first time that you and I have had a conversation. We've talked multiple times over the last few months.
But so you know me well enough to understand what my finances are? Is that what you're saying? So you know what I paid for or what I needed to do to get money to purchase that car? I mean, how many properties do I own? Do you know that? How many different businesses have I been associated with? What's my net worth?
Russ, I don't care about what you. I don't care about.
But that's the information that you need to make assumptions.
No,
because
no.
otherwise
Russ,
you're just doing that. You're assuming.
No, Russ, I don't care about you buying the Huracan. No, I don't. Let me say it like this. I don't care about your personal finances, any of that other stuff. I care about the market cap of your token and the people that you have convinced to buy into your project, and it is in the gutter right now. That's what I care about.
Okay.
Period.
So let me just say that, and it's kind of what I was going towards anyway. So we went from like a 10 million market cap, because I was here from the beginning, so I know what the numbers are. We started up just like everybody else, with very few holders, picked up some momentum. The chart was very up, very down, like every single low market cap coin out there. It had a run, then went up all the way to a 16 billion market cap in November in a very short amount of time. So a lot of people made a lot of money in a very short amount of time off Saitama. Naturally, the price goes down because all that was pretty much based on hype and the Saitama application that we had, but it was still a work in progress, and a lot of it was hype to that point. So the downtrend that we're experiencing now, there's several reasons for it. A majority of it because I guess it was a lot of hype. So now we're creating the utility to stabilize the foundation and move forward. To say that we're not going to go anywhere from here is ludicrous, right? Because we have an absolute ton of utility that we're adding to the token and what we're trying to do and what we've already accomplished, right? So it's crypto. It's based on, it's buy the news, sell whatever, buy the rumor, sell the news. It's the same concept. You see it every single day. It doesn't mean that the token right now is garbage or it's devalued. That's just ludicrous to say. We have so much utility that we already have out there. Saitama has had some issues we have, like any other tech platform that.
I think Austin makes a good point. Austin makes a good point. If Russ would have just came out from the beginning and said, yeah, I sold my Saitama tokens, I bought a Lambo and a house, he would have faced some criticism. But this whole I'm a successful multi-millionaire billion, which no one buys that shit. Who buys that shit? Who buys that? Your friends and family don't even buy it. They see you with a Lambo and a fucking brand new house. Like, what happened? Cryptocurrency? No one buys that shit, Russ. No one buys it. No one buys it. 0 people buy it. Okay. So when you're telling people these fucking lies about you being some savvy businessman, it just the signs don't point to that. The way you speak, your history, the way you present yourself, it doesn't point to that. We don't get the vibes from them, right? I don't get that vibe. If you would have been open and honest about taking profits and buying yourself a house and your wife a big ass car and yourself a Lambo, I think from the beginning, you would have faced some criticism, but we wouldn't be here today, right? But the fact that you've been lying all along and we've caught you in lies many times is what's really the issue here. It's because you can't accept responsibility. It's never their fault. It's always someone else's fault. When Saitama didn't launch the first time, it was Certic's fault. It's like, if you knew you were getting a Certic audit, why even, they take a long time. Why say they're going to take 2 weeks to audit your contract or to audit Saitama? It's an app to make sure it's safe. It's not a contract audit. It takes longer, right? Contract audits, they can bang out quick. It's an app. Okay, well, then it's Certic's fault. Then it's the DDoS attack. Then it's front-running bots. Then it's everyone else's fault. We launched Saita Realty. Some people were able to get in early on the project, and we got to blacklist those wallets. Now we got to relaunch the contract. It's always someone else's fault. It's never the team's fault. And that's the reason why this product has taken a shit. It's not the market. The market isn't fucking down 99% from all-time high. The market's down 50%, right? If we go here, right, to big, even a year ago, right? We can do a year. I mean, we're not Bitcoin's from a year. Bitcoin's down 35%, Ethereum's down 39%, right? If we go back towards its all-time high, it's about 50% right now. The market is not down 100%, Russ. So don't blame this on the market. This right here, what was this? What was this hype? UAE partnerships, medical blockchain technology, right? Hotel, all this kind of crazy stuff they were promised. This crazy stuff that never happened. We had Willie D promoting our token, who, if you would have just dug a little bit into his background, got in trouble and spent a year in prison for scamming people online. I know people get mad when I talk about that, you know? But the thing is, like, guys, if you're running a company and you're a CEO of a company and you represent anything and you hire someone, wouldn't you take a little bit of time to dig into their background? Why? Because people are on the internet. Saitama at the time had a lot of holders. People were FOMOing in. You don't think one of those motherfuckers are going to be like, hey, I looked into Willie D's past. Why is this guy our spokesman? To the average person back then, Willie D was part of the Saitama team. I knew he wasn't, but to the average person out there, this motherfucker's speaking for everybody. Right? He's the guy. It's like Jared from Subway, right? Jared from Subway was the fucking spokesperson for Subway. He got busted for some crazy shit. People see Subway as, you know, Jared. It's like you have that brand representation. And of course, since then, Willie D has parted away from Saitama a little bit, right? But it's like, why would I do that unless I'm just trying to fucking pump and dump a token, a quick influencer, right? Let me get an influencer to talk about my shit real quick. Willie D has a huge following, even though I didn't know who the fucking Ghetto Boys were. I'm sorry, I know about that. Okay, I get it. But it's like, wouldn't you do some due diligence? And we still don't even know the circumstances around when Russ got charged for forgery. No one knows what happened. I want to know what happened. What happened, Russ? Like, what really happened? Why did you plead guilty to forgery? Why? What did you do? That's fraud. What happened? It was a misdemeanor. It got raised to a felony, and you pled back to a misdemeanor. What happened? I want to know the circumstances. Why did you lie? Was it a check thing? What did you forge? What was the fraud? And now we have people like PR Torres, who's a fucking goon, who calls Tammy a dude, was talking shit about me from the beginning, calling me gay, which is like weird, calling me gay, and a bunch of other people, like, talking down to them. He's one of the main spokespeople for Saitama, constantly taking digs at people. And he's telling us that he's the ambassador signed an NDA with Saitama that he can't talk about much, but he's the one vetting products for Saitamask. Jonathan PR Torres, the guy who was on a fucking BET fucking real world rap show, a fucking like a real world celebrity. This guy's vetting people for cryptocurrency projects, and you want people to take this project seriously? What? That's why the price looks like that, all that shit. And luckily, myself and other people were like, we snapped out of it early and we're like, oh, this is fucking a scam. So when we had the opportunity, we sold again, right? When this thing pumped, we sold. We got the fuck out because not a lot of people, you know, at the time were vibing with what we were saying. But I mean, look, here's the thing. You guys, I know it's weird for this, but on the internet, people don't like when you change your mind about a topic or a thing. But look if you're into something, if you're following something, and something fundamentally changes, you have the right to change your opinion. Right? If you're dating your boyfriend and your boyfriend's, you know, is an angel from the start, but you find out he's been banging your sister this whole time, you have a right to change your perception about that person because of the evidence presented to you. Just like Saitama. I was in Saitama from the beginning. I supported Saitama from the beginning. I was a fucking moon boy. But I have a normal, healthy brain that says, hey, this is fucking suspicious. How about we look at it a little different? You know, like a normal person. Oh, what? Forgery charge? Oh, Willie D was scamming people? Oh, Certic audit's 2 weeks late. DDoS attack? Like, when I see things like that, I'm like, oh, red flag. On top of that, we started looking into other cryptocurrency projects, and we realized just how non-special Saitamask really is. It's not special, guys. It's not special. When you step out of this small shitcoin space and you explore other projects, Saitama is not special, not even close. It's not better than Uniswap. It's not better than MetaMask. It's not even better than SafeMoonSwap, right? Their little app. It's the same shit. This one happened to have the momentum of all the influencers in the space. That's what shot this thing up to the moon. Jake Gagan, Zach Humphreys, me, Classy Crypto, all the YouTubers, all the hype, all the partnerships, all the deals. And then what happened? Fucking, when it pulled back, it didn't have anything fundamental to fall on. You need a use case, right? Hype can only get you so far. All right, let's continue to listen to this.
Launch. As I mentioned, we're still less than a year old. You know, that's almost like saying, oh, because Ethereum went from 1,500 down to $80 and it downtrended for 6 months, that it's a dead coin.
I cannot fucking stand when he compares himself to Ethereum or I cannot stand when people. I'm sorry, I got to stop again. My Saitama bag has been gone, Jong Lee. It's been gone. I cannot stand when they compare themselves to motherfucking Ethereum. First of all, like the stream, clickety-clack that like button. I cannot stand that. It's not the same, Russ. It's not the same. It's apples to fucking oranges.
You know, it's the volatility of the market. You go with the ebbs and flows.
No, but I can also attest that, or let me not even say attest. I can also say that there are certain tokens and there are certain projects in Web3 that they can be absolute monsters and they can come out of nowhere. I just watched people pull $300 million out of their asses to pay for JPEG moonbirds. But there is money in the market, and a lot of the money from Saitama has flowed out of this token because of missed deadlines, broken promises. There has been a myriad of reasons why there are people who don't want to be involved with the community anymore, be it from abuse from people who are considered influencers or holders, to, oh, I had a horrible experience using Saitama. Like, what do you say to somebody who says that their first experience in DeFi was because somebody told them to go download Saitama, to download Sata Realty? Like, what do you say to that person? What do you say to the people who are some of your most diehard supporters who have been losing their ass for the last 6 months supporting the token as it's done nothing but downtrend? Like, what do you say to those people?
Oh, I mean, you can't download Sata Realty, but yeah, it's anybody that's worked in technology and understands.
How unprofessional. What do you say to the people that downloaded SataMask and bought Sata Realty, and then he says, oh, well, you can't download Sata Realty? Obviously, he made a mistake when he was talking. Obviously. No shit, Russ. You can't no fucking shit, Russ. No shit. We know you can't download Sata Realty, Russ. And Mr. Brown has an interesting point here. He says, so how much fault should the influencers that have retraced accept? They led many people into huge losses. We all know people don't actually do. Mr. M. Brown Jr., look at this is something I've been fucking struggling with for a long time, because I got a lot of people to buy Saitama during the pump and at the top because of what content I put out. But I tried to shift my channel into the direction of helping people. It's called my crypto journey, my journey through crypto. And part of this journey is being in a fucking token that's a cult, realizing it's a fucking cult, and slowly starting to change my opinion and try to make the people that follow my channel a little better. And that's why I sold over here when I could, to make up my losses and to hopefully encourage people to sell and make up some of their losses. But here's the thing. I mean, the people that bought here will never make up their money. And I know I feel bad about that, but you know what I mean? This whole time I've been trying to right my wrongs, because I do feel bad. I do feel bad. And this whole time we were talking shit about Saitama, trying to make people see the light, because we saw the light. I mean, people fucking shunned us, right? They talk shit about us. But there's people that stuck with us, like Bree. You know, Bree was one of the people for Saitama. She came over to the channel and started supporting me, you know, and all the degenerates, everyone with the fucking purple eggplant next to their damn name, abandoned voices on my fucking very first live stream, right? These people that have been following me from the beginning, and there's so many I can't even name here. A bunch of people, right? A bunch of people. I've been trying to right my wrongs and trying to like show people that a lot of these projects like Shinja and all these products are a bunch of bullshit, but we're learning too. So the best thing I can do, right? The best thing I can do, yeah, MBK 201, right? Everybody. The best thing I can do is try to be better. Andy, that's why I started the degenerate portfolio. What is the degenerate portfolio? If you guys know the significance, when we're down, the significance of this portfolio, I started at the beginning of the year, was to say, hey, we're going to make money on these shit coins that have no real utility but making money, and we're going to invest them in DCA into these projects. That's why I do this portfolio, to show that we can get rich and make money off of just buying blue chips, although the market looks like shit right now. So, you know what I mean? Why is Shinja bullshit? Because, dude, come on. Cliff has been involved with a lot of other projects. First of all, I'm having the Shift Token guy come on Coffee and Crypto next Tuesday. That's going to be lit. He's going to tell us some shit about the Shinobi team. All right? I'm going to tell you about that one. Exactly. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? So, you know, this last, like, you know, 5 months, we've been trying to just really fucking get it together and right our wrongs. Because I do feel bad, you know, I do feel bad about getting people into Saitama because it was popular, but it'd be like that, you know, it'd be like that. So, you know, I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because I like you, Roddy, buy Satoshi swap first. We have a motherfucker shilling in here right now. No, I know, Mr. Brown. I know you weren't referring to me, but it's true. You know, I mean, I'm not an angel in all this. I was just the first one to be like, this is bullshit. You know, go watch my old videos. That's the reason why I don't delete those videos. Watch me fucking just deep throat the cock of Saitama every fucking day. Watch Mononoke Inu. Watch me deep throat the cock of all these projects that are shit. Right? Watch that. Go watch those videos. It's cringy, but it's there, right? So going forward, you know, like the last 5 months or so, we're becoming more hip to these products. We know what they're good for, right? So, yeah, exactly. I mean, go watch my reaction. First of all, thank you for the $5 the super sticker Ram Jam. Go watch my fucking go watch my reaction to the Saitama event. As a logical person who's worked in retail, like a professional company, who's been a manager, who's attended all kinds of meetings with big important people in my environment, I understand professionalism, right? I just understand it. I get it, right? Now, when I watched that Saitama event in Vegas, you can see the soul leaving my fucking body, because I'm like, holy shit, I feel like I'm at some multi-level marketing fucking meeting. I feel like this is a scam. I felt it, right? And then the Willie D thing came out and just all this kind of crazy shit. It's just like, holy crap, you know, holy crap. So, you know, I mean, that's what it was. People were howling and shit. And you could see me like try to like be like, yeah, but I'm just like, fuck, you know, unprofessional. And people hated that shit. Let's continue.
This is the platform and how code is created and how things, the progression.
Let's run it back a little bit.
Everybody else, you know, with very
let's
few
run it back
holders,
a little bit so we
pick
can
up some momentum. You know, the chart was very up, very down, like every single low market cap coin out there. You know, it had a run, then went up all the way to a 16 billion market cap in November in a very short amount of time. So a lot of people made a lot of money in a very short amount of time off Saitama. Naturally, the price goes down because all that was pretty much based on hype and the Saitama application that we had, but it was still a work in progress, and a lot of it was hype to that point. So the downtrend that we're experiencing now, there's several reasons for it. A majority of it, because I guess it was a lot of hype. So now we're creating the utility to stabilize the foundation and move forward. To say that, you know, we're not going to go anywhere from here is ludicrous, right? Because we have an absolute ton of utility that we're adding to the token and what we're trying to do and what we've already accomplished, right? So it's crypto. It's based on, you know, it's buy the news, sell whatever, buy the rumor, sell the news. It's the same concept. You see it every single day. It doesn't mean that the token right now is garbage or it's devalued. That's just ludicrous to say. We have so much utility that we already have out there. Saitama had some issues. We have, like any other tech platform that you launch. As I mentioned, we're still less than a year old. You know, that's almost like saying, oh, because Ethereum went from 1,500 down to $80 and it downtrended for 6 months, that it's a dead coin. You know, it's the volatility of the market. You go with the ebbs and flows.
No, but I can also attest that, or let me not even say attest. I can also say that there are certain tokens and there are certain projects in Web3 that they can be absolute monsters and they can come out of nowhere. I just watched people pull $30 million, or I'm sorry, $300 million out of their asses to pay for JPEG moonbirds. But there is money in the market, and a lot of the money from Saitama has flowed out of this token because of missed deadlines, broken promises. There has been a myriad of reasons why there are people who don't want to be involved with the community anymore, be it from abuse from people who are considered influencers or holders, to I had a horrible experience using Saitama. Like what do you say to somebody who says that their first experience in DeFi was because somebody told them to go download Saitama, to download Sata Realty? Like, what do you say to that person? What do you say to the people who are some of your most diehard supporters who have been losing their ass for the last 6 months supporting the token as it's done nothing but downtrend? Like, what do you say to those people?
Well, I mean, you can't download Sata Realty, but yeah, it's anybody that's worked in technology and understands the platform and how code is created and how things, the progression, would understand it. You know, your general investor that doesn't really understand, doesn't know, you know, you try to educate them with that and understand that Saitama and all the applications that we have and what we're trying to create, it's always been long term. I think the general consensus in cryptocurrency is that you're going to buy today and next week you're going to be uber rich, right? Because that's the consensus. I feel most of the people are, because everybody's got a buddy that made a bunch of money in crypto and they want to duplicate the success, and unfortunately that's not how that works.
Don't get me wrong, I do agree with you. That is the general consensus of a lot of people, and that is the reality for a lot of people, and not necessarily having to do with tokens, but that could be because you minted a JPEG at a certain time and you got lucky. But what I'm saying is there are people whose first experience in DeFi, and essentially you were saying this like 20-30 minutes ago about how you want to expand Web3 and you want to bring more people in and you want to give people a good experience and you want to do all this stuff for people. But if somebody's first experience was using Saitama, like if my first experience was using Saitama and trying to download Sata Realty, there is no way that I am taking my money anywhere else in Web3 if the first thing that I have to experience is somebody using a backdoor exploit and buying a shit ton of it and I can't even do it. Or gas is so ridiculous that I can only buy, what is it? Like I can only buy like some tiny amount, or people are buying off Uniswap. Like there are a number of reasons why like you as a developer, because you work for the holders, because you petitioned us to invest in your idea and your token. Like that is your job to essentially build this public trust again.
Right. Well, I mean, most of those things you just mentioned, we don't control, right? We're not Vitalik. We don't control gas fees. We don't control any of that stuff.
But the entire point of Saitama was, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it to help eliminate gas? I'm sorry, not eliminate gas, reduce the amount of fees that people have to pay to buy tokens.
That's true.
And that's just part of the fee transaction percentage, in which we are lower than Uniswap. But it doesn't mean that we dictate what the miner fees are.
No, absolutely. I just corrected myself. You don't have control over gas. You have a control over the amount of fees. However,
of course,
if the platform itself doesn't do what it says, what it is built to do, why would I use you over Uniswap? Just like how the same reason why I asked you a couple months ago when you were telling me that you're creating your NFT platform and you want it to be a multifaceted platform that is able to do all the things that a lot of these other, like OpenSea and LooksRare, what they're supposed to do, but better. How am I supposed to have confidence in you and what you're saying if you have a proven track record of not being able to do that?
So within our Saitama application right now, we already have something that nobody else does. we have zero bot activity. I could go on any Uniswap DEX tool chart right now, and if there's a significant amount of volume there, I can spot about 30% of them are med bots or front run bots. Right? So literally stealing money.
So did you just say that I'm sorry, you said that your platform is the only one that you know of where you have no bots. Is that correct?
The traditional decentralized platform. Let me correct myself. The centralized is totally different, but on the decentralized scale, Uniswap, all this.
Now, as much as I hear that, and as much as I hear that now, it's not necessarily one-to-one, but I personally know of an NFT platform that has zero botting. So you aren't the only ones in the game to be able to do
we're
that.
We're not talking about an NFT platform.
But I essentially just said I know that it's not one-to-one, it's an NFT platform, but you're not the only people in the game who have said that you're doing something revolutionary because you've got no botting. I mean, and it doesn't matter if you have no botting, if you have people being able to buy off the blockchain like people did for Sata Realty.
Right. And that was an issue that we had corrected by, because there were forces. There's a lot of different moving parts in crypto. If you know how to manipulate the blockchain and you get good at it, there's ways around it. So we try to anticipate that and put blocks in place, right? So that was a block we didn't anticipate. So we shut it down and fixed it. We force all transactions through our own router. That way it eliminates people from pushing transactions through other routers and attaching things at the miner level, right? So that's how we mitigate that. And that's part of the development process, right? You don't know it's an issue until it's there, and then you fix it and you move on. To see that it's there and not doing anything about it is not the answer. But recognizing it, fixing it, correcting the issue, and moving on, that's how you develop technology. You don't get it right the first time. You figure out what's wrong, you fix it, and you redeploy it. And that's part of the process.
All right. I appreciate your time, Russ. Thank you for letting me speak.
Yeah, no worries, man. All right. Anyways, it's like 1 a.m. now, so I think we've been at this thing for like 4 hours. So, but hopefully, some people got some good information out of it, right? And that, and again, I know we got kind of derailed a little bit, but the idea is to try to figure out a way to make all communities collectively come together.
Now we're going to get to the PR Torres and Faltron's part, which is so good. Hold on.
And without the toxicity, and have open conversations, right? That are professional and that are seeking resolution, right? If there's an issue in a space, or there's an issue, with the community and the development team, or two different communities, right? How do we kind of mend that gap to create a more appealing environment for new investors? Because I feel like sometimes and I say we collectively, have a tendency to maybe scare off new investors, right? Because of some of the animosities and the toxicities in the space. So we got to be at this level because we're so early on in crypto. We have to pioneer it, and we have to be advocates for ourselves and the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the entire cryptocurrency, and DeFi specifically, right? It's a wild west, but we got to get to a point to where we can, all cohabitate, right? And everybody can build a better platform, and everybody can, work together serendipitously, so we can ultimately all achieve the same goal, which is some financial freedom and creating, a space that's going to revolutionize how we deal with money, how we interact and exchange currencies, right? I think, and I'm hoping everybody here would agree that cryptocurrency really is the future in how we interact with currency and how we trade and how we, do everything with blockchain development. It doesn't matter if you're a small business owner, you're going to the grocery store, if you're buying a car, if you're, everything that we're doing with the metaverse and, and the Web3. It's just crazy the amount of technology that's out there right now, and the potential of it. We shouldn't be selling ourselves short. We should be ambassadors and creating a positive space that we can really kind of grow on. Right? I think there's plenty of room for it. And as pioneers in the building blocks and being so early on in crypto, even though we look back at the origin and the launch of Bitcoin, just now I feel cryptocurrency is really starting to sink its teeth in. We're at a point now where we're really at the precipice of mass adoption, but we are our own worst enemies sometimes, and we can either help
all of this right now, this ending to this whole after he just got like verbally dismantled for about an hour in front of everybody. This right here, what he's saying is all happy, fun time, good time stuff, about crypto, early adoption, that kind of stuff. Not really addressing the main issues in the red flags in his project, because what he's saying right now isn't wrong about cryptocurrency as a whole, because it's not. Right. Every single day, there's some sort of new mass adoption coming to cryptocurrency. Right. And we see it every single day. Some like Fidelity's offering their 401k or part of some of the retirements in Bitcoin. A lot of retail companies, major retailers are starting to accept cryptocurrency. Right. So mass adoption is coming. And I think the biggest barrier to mass adoption is trust and knowledge. Right? Trust and knowledge, those two things. Anytime I talk to someone about cryptocurrency, they don't know about it or they don't trust it. Here's the issue with Saitama is that they've destroyed a lot of trust in their project. So for me, it's kind of ironic that Russ is ending the conversation about mass adoption with cryptocurrency when trust and transparency and knowledge is something that his product has lacked from the beginning. And will it ever get back? I don't know. I don't think so. How many people can believe what Russ has said when literally this whole time they've been lying through their teeth, and we are finding out about it? Even the people like Faltron. There are so many people that were like Saitama this, Saitama that, like Saitama Rodney, are now just Crypto Rodney. That wasn't me. Or Sata this are now Crypto this. Why? They're getting away from Saitama. Even like Hinoch. Absolutely crazy. So to me, it's ironic. It's corny. The ending of it. We're gonna listen to the rest of it. It's corny and it's damage control. Let's keep watching.
With the growth, or we can get in our own way, right? So how do we collectively make that right decision? How do we collectively, grow this crypto community in a positive light and not, anticipate some of the hate and scare off new money, right? We want to bring new money into crypto so we're not siphoning from one to the other. Or, some people selling here because this coin's doing better, or these developers are better, or this community is better. There's plenty of room for everybody to succeed in this space, but we're not going to be able to do that individually. We got to do it collectively and together. So hopefully, we can get from where we're at now to there. I don't know what that direct path is, but maybe conversations like this help. So appreciate you guys.
Thanks
coming
for
on
having me on, Russ.
Open dialogue and everything. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you guys coming on and all the good feedback, man. Everyone always welcome criticism of all kinds. Like I said, as long as it's constructive criticism, I not only anticipate it, but I expect it. Right? That's what helps us grow as a business and as a company, because it's not just the praise and the flowers, like, oh, you guys are doing an amazing job, of course it's great to hear, but I also like to hear the negative annotations, right? People speak from a different perspective, like, hey, you guys should do this, or you should do this, or maybe you should do this better because I'm a consumer or I'm an investor, and I feel like maybe you guys dropped the ball on this. And please don't take this in light that we do know the faults, and we do know that things have not gone as smooth as we would have hoped. But all we can do from here is try to put it together and fix some of the stuff that we have out now and create
still
utility
talking
and grow and build on top of what we have. Right? Everything hasn't gone smooth, and that's okay. You don't expect everything to go smooth, but what you can do is build on it, and that's what we've always been doing. We've never stopped working. If anything, we work harder now than we ever had because we have so much stuff to work on. It's just it's hard. Like anybody is
still talking.
You'll understand, and I don't think really people understand what it's like until you're in those shoes, right? You're trying to develop a product, you're trying to grow a business. So many moving parts. You're trying to appease the masses, you're trying to grow the community. You're trying to do literally 1,000 things at once, all while receiving scrutiny and criticism. Right? And you guys know me well enough by now that I don't get emotional. I don't take that stuff to heart. I don't take it seriously. We just work. That's all we do. We just keep our head down and work because we know we have a vision and we're trying to get there. I know it's going to be a bumpy ride from here to there, but we're going to get there. So that's all that really matters. So I appreciate you guys coming on, and yeah, Maybe we'll do it again sometime. Maybe next time it won't be 4 hours long, though.
Don't forget to live bullish, everyone.
Wise words. Wise words. Appreciate it. All right.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for the $20 donation. MBK201 saying, I enjoy watching your crypto journey, Roddy. The biggest lesson I've learned from you is the importance of taking profit from shitcoins, investing in real blue chip products. Bro, thank you for what you do in this space. I appreciate you, MBK201. And hopefully, and thank you so much for the $20 Canadian dollar donation. And I hope you didn't invest into Terra Luna because that is an absolute rug pull. But I think it's recovering a little bit, right? Thank you so much. And someone asked me, what do I think Saitama's main problem is? Well, everything starts with an idea. And I thought the idea was great. And I think all of us got behind that because it was the idea. But the issue is everything when it comes to delivery, literally everything when it comes to delivery. Max is not good at what he's doing. Russ has shown to be a liar. Elon Mansour is a short-tempered, no fucking sensory acuity looking motherfucker who's talking shit to Vitalik on Twitter, who's threatening to sue people who slander. Yet there are a bunch of goons. You have another one, MK, who publicly denounces Ryan Patrick and says that him selling his tokens is not a big deal, calling Ryan Patrick's bag puny. After Ryan spent months supporting the project and had general concerns. There are a bunch of unprofessional goons. That's what the issue with Saitama is. I hope when Russ ended this space, he took a nice drive around the block or around the city in his fucking Lambo and had a nice thought to himself and maybe thought about some of that shit that I think it was BTC or OTC, what the guy's name said to him, because that was some real stuff. That was some real stuff that no one has been able to say because everyone else gets labeled as fudders, but he was able to say it. Right? So that Saitama's idea was great and it could still be good since they have something, an app that's remember the spelling errors like on their app. Instead of swapping, it was swaping, and then they didn't have portfolio spelled right. It's like the quality control, the DDoS attacks, real legit projects go through so much quality control before they go ahead and launch. I mean, look at Twizzy. There's been so many people who are friends of the channel who are like developers who work in like big companies and said that shit would have never made it past the first review. You know, Max is a carpenter from Guatemala. Housings, yeah. It's like it's an unprofessional, not well thought out project, and it's showing, and it shows, right? It just took some time. You know, once people like got off the fucking hopium of like the price pumping and He Not Crypto saying we're getting listed on fucking Binance, which is absolutely hilarious. Once they got past all of that, like these influencers saying some dumbass shit, I think they were able to see the light. They were able to see the light. And then we have this JRE Entertainment. I like this guy. He's the Saitama goes up and up guy. He says, don't forget that Saitama Guru invited all of you all to the stage last night except me. Every single one of you tried to poke and tear down the work these guys have put in. You didn't even ask him how his family was doing before you attempted to attack his character. Shame on you. We didn't ask the guy who's been, him and his team have been making millions of dollars off the backs of investors, delivering a shit product, how his family was doing. How about the motherfuckers who are down 99% in your project and you're telling them to hold? What about those guys? And then DTC says, I'm sorry, but nobody attacked this character, and it's not my job to ask about the well-being of his family. We were respectful of the time we were allotted. This is a Web3 based business. We're investors. He's a CEO. He's a CEO or COO. Investors demand accountability for their investments. Isn't that insane? Isn't that nutty? And then even Classic Crypto. Yeah, I don't think anybody attacked this character. Is this a fucking come to Jesus moment? Why did it take so long for us to start to feel vindicated? Holy shit. God damn. And obviously my Saitama content has died down recently because it's like there's no point anymore. Like people just label me a fudder, but it's now it's like tearing itself apart. Look at Bree with the hashtag new profile picture. Drama, Goombas, and bears on mine. You know? Oh Lord, yeah. DTC is the man. He handled that the best way you could handle that. It was like a weird reincarnation of Slim Jesus, right? Strange, very, very strange. Very, very strange how, he was able to, not strange, but very, very strange how some of the people are in the community are reacting. I can't believe JRE would say something like that. It's like, look at this little softy. We have 2 $5 donations. Let me see. We had one saying, the main problem with Saitama is that there is no marketing wall to support Max to develop SATA properly. But they can pay a fucking UFC fighter hundreds of thousands of dollars in Saitama tokens to wear a shirt while he trains. Now that is some top tier big brain motherfucking. That's how you spend your money there. That's what we do. Saitama died when Rug and the team decided not to list on exchanges back before November because they wanted to keep all the money in-house for Saitamask. If you go back far enough, guys, there are so many videos of Russ pretty much downplaying the significance of a Binance or a Coinbase listing. He even said, like, what's the point? What's the point? We're going to get on these exchanges and steal their customers. Where's that big dick energy now? The last, like, I don't know how many months, how many times has he said, have people in the community have been saying that that's the biggest catalyst for Saitama is exchanges, not Saitamask Pro, not fucking other people. It's Saitamask Pro. Oh, now we need exchanges. Now when shit's starting to fucking take a dump. Oh, now we need exchanges. Oh, what happened? Unblock me. I said unblock me, softy. So, now we need exchange. Oh, okay. Well, where was all that energy? Where was all that energy in the early stages? It's like there's no self-awareness. And look, we don't need to know that, but let me tell you, CZ from Binance, whoever runs Coinbase, they know what's going on. They're professionals. They know who Russ is. They know why. There's a reason why they have not been listed on any of the exchanges. They know why. These top tier exchanges, there's a reason. There's a reason why they haven't been listed on these top tier exchanges, right? First of all, these fucking memes are absolutely fantastic. Believes is crazy. There's a reason why. And stuff like this is the reason why.
I had to, y'all.
What's this shit?
I had to, y'all. I just bought $62,000 more worth of Saitama token. Why? Because Binance is on the way. It's time to panic buy, and I'm jacked. You should be too. Woo! Woo! Yahweh!
Arguably the biggest influencer in Saitama, shout out to AS, is telling everybody to panic buy Saitama when they were going to get a interview from a part of the Binance platform called CoinDesk or some shit. And it never happened. Why? Because they had a scheduling error and they never rescheduled with this Binance platform. Do you know how much Saitama pumped because of this jackass telling everybody to go panic buy Saitama? Insane. It pumped so hard that day. It's like, and when I saw that, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Because I knew what the platform was. Hey, Samurai fan, man. Just shit like that. You know what I mean? Sorry, Henoch. I have to dunk on you, man, because you were one of those people that were calling me stupid, futter, uneducated, all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Let's go to Ryan Patrick's page. Let's look at the hypocrisy. Shout out to you, Ryan Patrick. Look at the hypocrisy. Check this out. When Ryan, Dean, Rodney, and other DJs leave Saitama, Russ she says, you're frustrated with the delay, and so you intentionally hurt the entire community and support you instead of selling quietly with class. And then when Faltron sells, She says, if you are being serious, you will be sorely missed. And I'm really disappointed to see you go, Feltron. I wish you luck and abundance in all your investments moving forward. Thank you so much for all you did for the pack. Literally, the Saitama Wolf Trist, which will be Wolfist, which will be fucking Crypto Wolfist soon, I guarantee, or Crypto Doggist or something, because Wolf's associated with Saitama, right? I guarantee you. Feltron is out. But Ryan Patrick, the guy who made literally hundreds of thousands of views for Saitama on YouTube, gets like trashed, like thrown in the dumpster. You know, this guy, Ryan Patrick, right? Me and Ryan Patrick had the most epic beef on YouTube. I made the most epic diss video of all time. And Ryan saw the light. He was a Saitama nut hugger. That shit was, he was riding the metaphorical cock of Saitama so hard. Sorry, Ryan. He was, right? And he got off of it because he started to see the light. You know? And then Faltron says, I should have dumped my $13 million. Best of luck. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. These motherfuckers are trying to dox my address at the time. All kinds of crazy shit. You know? Absolutely insane. The hypocrisy is insane with these guys. You can't make this up. But then she did say, my reactions were very different in Ryan Crypto's screenshots. I sometimes get upset when I feel people are out to hurt Saitama. In reality, nothing can destroy us. That said, maybe I should work on keeping my cattiness out of crypto. My bad, Ryan. That's a nice thing to say. You know? It's like, oh Lord, all these, I don't know what to call them, these Saitama people are just absolutely insane. We're gonna watch a little bit of the Feltron part of that video because I like it when Feltron and PR Torres are really getting into it. It's a really good part. Look at this shit. UFC fighter Hodl Saitama. Hey, Wolfpack, I'm still holding my Saitama bag. Good days are ahead of us. He didn't fucking write that. I love the UFC, but I fucking hate this shit. You're better than that, Islam Makhachev. I don't know what they're fucking paying you, but you're better than that. You're better than all that, you know? You're better than all that.
Anything to help say
FUD. Like we're this.
Tenure in the past 6 months.
I mean, we obviously need to start somewhere, but how do we get from here to there? What's the first step to take? Right? And that's,
I mean, I'm just saying it's your business. You got to figure that out. But there are obvious, you know, issues here that, you know, they can't necessarily be ignored forever. But it's part of crypto. It's part of DeFi. But, you know, the dude that's fucking hosting an AMA with you this morning is doxing my personal information later that night. You know,
he's saying that PR Torres is doxing his personal information.
Not a good look for Saitama, especially since I helped pave the way to get, you know. So, yeah, it's just it's a little irritating, bro.
All right, it's all good. All right, well, go ahead, Torres. I know I brought you up as a speaker, and I feel like we've been constantly cutting you off. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. Well, first of all, thank you for having the space. I got a couple of things to say. I'll keep it very brief.
PR Torres is such a fucking snake. This guy talks so much shit about people and he comes in here and tries to act professional. This is like the motherfucker. Oh my God. He's like a Walmart manager.
Brief. Well, first and foremost, I believe that what's understood does not have to be explained. And I think that this evening, by the antics that have been said thus far for the past half an hour, again, show and prove the true character of certain people in this space and their intentions and how they want to go about doing things. That's number one. Number two, I think it's a huge travesty and a tragedy that you have to take time out of your day from being with your family, from being with your wife, from being with your kids, from actually working on Saitama, State of Mass Pro, and all the endeavors that revolve around the Saitama project, for you to have to take time out of your day to be able to address something so petty in the bigger scheme of things, because quite frankly, this is bigger than just a couple of people. This is a worldwide community. And I believe that the efforts that we could use could be better well used to be able to figure out ways that we can grow as a community within our localities and also like worldwide, as we are with the Wolfpack with 360,000 holders plus. Russ, again, it's not a matter of taking sides, so I'm not going to put you on the spot. Again, I started off with understood does have to be explained, meaning that I would hope at this point thus far, in our short tenure in the past 6 months, that you would know that my intentions are pure, and everything that I've done up to this point thus far has to somehow, some way benefit Saitama and the Wolfpack community through various contexts that I've been able to accumulate throughout the past 6 months to figure out ways that we could bring the digital Web3 to the physical assets and, you know, the physical utility in the real world. Is that safe to say?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't, but again, I'm not involved in Twitter every day. So obviously, if I thought you guys were misrepresenting the brand and it was something that was wouldn't be condoned, like I wouldn't affiliate it with it. But again,
so
I don't
shilling rug pulls is condoned. Is shilling rug pulls condoned there, Russ?
Oh no, I don't condone
Russ, if I may have the floor though, because I mean that was kind of long-winded and I didn't really get a chance to speak my mind. So if I may, please, you know, just a little bit more, if you don't mind, if I may, thank you. There have been a lot of lies told this evening. I mean, countless lies, starting first and foremost with this doxing of his address. I don't know where you live, and you never see anything with my name attached to it. Addressing
you didn't put my my personal information on the internet today. Is that true?
Sir, what I did was I put your first and last name and your wallet.
Cut the shit. Cut the formalities. You don't have to call me sir. Act like, you know, just talk like a normal, like
no, it's sir. I'm gonna.
I know you're very professional, but you're a bullshitter. You're a con man, bro. Listen, no. I'm an honest person. You're a proven liar. So, you know, I'm an honest guy. We can talk like men. You don't have to pull this fake professionalism bullshit respectfully. Okay? You can talk to me normally. Okay.
All right, hold on. Sorry, Paltron. I gave you an opportunity to speak, so I want to let Torres do the same. I don't want to mediate and all that stuff. I just, you know, trying to, you know, have you guys do like a group hug so we can get this community back together. That's all I'm trying to achieve. I don't want to, you know, fire tempers and do all that stuff, man.
Right. So doxing is cool. It's cool if he doxes me. That's cool. That's building the community. But he talks in a professional voice, so it's okay, respectfully.
May I continue?
Go ahead.
Appreciate it. So once again, there have been several lies that's been told this evening on several tips. First and foremost, at the end of the day, Russ, I don't want to make this about me. This is not about me. This is not about him. This is about the community. I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth this banter because, quite frankly, it doesn't help. I have been under the attack for the past month and a half, specifically myself in anime. And quite frankly, I got fed up. So I took it upon myself to respond. And unfortunately, it is what it is. All right. I didn't put his personal address out there. Okay. So if you want to roll with that narrative to make your point be justified, Faltron, that's totally on you. I'm not going to go back and forth. In regards to rug pulls and things of that nature, brother, you are the degenerate king of rug pulls, and everybody knows that, okay? The only thing you got on me and anime is one project that we did one AMA for called Venusian that the guy took and bounced. Other than that, first and foremost, when it comes to Stardust, everybody knows they did a V.
First and foremost, respectfully, may I have the floor? What? You don't have to say that all the time.
V3. I was involved with them during V1, and the project was just fine when I was involved. So that's a fallacy. Number one, Fallon. Number two, in regards to Hirokage, they are also coming out with a V2. If you look in the Telegram, they're launching, if not mistaken, I think it was yesterday. All right. So
this nigga said fallacy in regards to Hirokage.
before you call the kettle black, my good brother, you need to look in the mirror and figure out who you really are, because you have been utilizing the wolf pack as of late, specifically as of late, right, to be able to invest your supposed $13 million that you could have had by making this spectacle on social media today, which was unwarranted, to then siphon into your cult DAO bag when they airdropped you and you own 12.5% of that new project coming off a cult that's been airdropped to you that hasn't even launched
If you
yet,
knew
bro.
how to read Etherscan, I've never been airdropped anything.
No
Torres,
doubt.
you're a con. You're
No
a con,
doubt.
bro.
Okay.
You don't know how to read
So,
Etherscan.
Understood. No problem. Well, again, neither here nor there. At the end of the day, Russ knows what I do. Russ knows how I operate. Many of the wolf pack, they know that my intentions are pure. I will never turn my back on the wolf pack. All right. In 6 months, I sold a total of 1.7 ETH, which is equated to about $5,000 worth. My good sir, not like today, 20 hours ago, when you sold 71 trillion and then rebought another 9 trillion today. That is manipulative, and that's what you did, bro. You are the first one to call everybody out to do these kind of maneuvers, but yet you're the one doing that. You have been calling people's out names and addresses, the stuff that you claim that I'm doing. You've been doing it since I've gotten into space, brother.
Oh,
so what are you talking about?
Who's fucking first name and address have I called out? And here's the deal.
I never said your address.
Manny called me. Manny called me on the phone because, you know, obviously there's a problem if Beltron is fucking ready to hit the door, right? He knows me. I've been here for a year, dude. A year. There's an issue, right? I've been here through thick and thin. So it's not just that I'm just leaving for no reason there, buddy. I know that, you know, you're the new de facto king of the wolf pack. We're now the fucking gangster squad from the Bronx or whatever. I get that. We're now fucking, you know, we're now big bullies around Saitama. You get to tell everybody what to do in your New York accent. I get that. I understand. I understand where this is going, bro. You're a bully. You're a bully. I know you don't like to think that, but you and Anime, you guys are bullies, bro. You're no fun. You're ruining the wolf pack. It's just not a good look, man. You know, none of this is fun anymore. You guys came, you started, you know, puffing your chests out, telling everybody what to do. You know, yeah, I'm out.
It's true. I mean, PR Torres was going around calling Tammy a man, saying Austin Osm is a paid footer, calling me gay, that I'm in the closet, all this stuff because of Saitama. And this is the same guy making deals for Saitama. All right. Okay. All right.
Out, bro. Good for you. You get to bully whoever you want.
Thank you for all your thank you for all
you, bro.
Thank you for all your
contributions. So much fun for you, bro.
Thank you for all your
everybody who they can and can't talk to, who's allowed in what space.
My name is not Mendy.
Right.
Number one. Number two, thank you for all your contributions that you've done for Saitama Wolfpack, for being here in the beginning. We appreciate you. Thank you for your contributions, sir. Bid your way, enjoy cult, enjoy everything else, and we thank you for everything that you did for us. Now, moving forward, don't come back like everybody else that you claim. Oh, you guys are gonna come back, but you are the prototype. You are the prototypical example of the people that you talk stuff about.
This is your representative. Don't come back to Saitama. Yo, don't come back. Don't let the door.
You said you're out, brother. You said you're out though. But you said you're why you using foul language though?
Dude,
you sound upset.
People like me to come back.
You sound like a hater, bro. It's a little bit of hate in your blood. I mean, where I come from, people like you is a little bit of hate.
You're unbelievable, bro. You don't belong in crypto. You don't understand this. You were bitching to everybody in the group. I lost $30,000, bro. Are you fucking kidding me?
All right, hang on a second. I'm not trying to do all that, man. I'm like, we're all adults, man. I'm trying to figure out a solution here. I mean, it's a lot of.
It's all true though. Jonathan PR Torres is up here trying to act like professional when he just literally, there are rooms where he just fucking dogs people. Now he's trying to act like some professional guy. Come on now. Yeah, he ain't no bully in our, he's a Twitter bully, right? Come on now. This is Russ's right-hand guy. This is the guy that's vetting products for SataMask. Jonathan PR Torres. Jonathan PR Torres, respectfully, this guy is the guy vetting products for SataMask. That's all you need to know about this project. Quite frankly, my brother Russ has Saitama. Quite frankly, now he's like gaslighting Faltron. Oh, thank you for holding. You've been a good asset to the community. Oh, goodbye now. Okay.
Speculation, he said, she said stuff. I'm not really trying to do all that. Like have to maintain some vigilance here. It's it's a business and it's a community ran token. So the back and forth and the bickering, I understand that not everybody's going to get along. Okay, like I've been on this earth long enough to understand that it's impossible to get along with everybody because personalities conflict. People are not going to get along with everybody else. It's okay. But I just ask that everybody understands that going in, and it's okay if you don't agree with somebody. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to call them out on their shortcomings or tell them what you don't agree with. Right? You just move on smartly. And if it's something that's affecting negatively to the community, or maybe you don't agree with it, I mean, we don't have to create an entourage and create a line in the sand and say, okay, well, this is right, and this group of people are right over here, and the people on the other side are wrong because they love the color blue and we love the color, red. Or what? It doesn't matter, man. Like we all are in this ride together that we call crypto, and it's difficult, and especially in these conditions where the market is less than ideal. Tensions are high. I get it, man. It happens. I've been in crypto long enough to see this unfold, and
it's like we have Faltron talking shit. We have Jonathan P.R. Torres talking shit. And we have Russ rambling. If this isn't the wackiest fucking shit you've been involved in, I don't know what to tell you. This is absolutely nutty. We're going to run a little bit over the time today, guys. This is absolutely crazy.
And play again and again and again and over and over. The idea behind it is to allow us to come together, work together. Altron, you have done a lot for the community. You've been here for a long time. Nobody is taking that away from you. I am not taking that away from you. Nobody else in the community should either. Everybody has done their part. Everybody has contributed to this project. Torres has done a great deal for Saitama and is an advocate for us. Doesn't speak for everybody in the community, doesn't speak for the development team, but he has done his part to push Saitama brand and help people along the way. If you don't agree with that, it's okay to not agree with it, right? Or if he's promoting projects on an AMA and they didn't do well, that's fine. It's his own prerogative. I mean, it's not like I'm coming into the space when he's hosting an AMA and I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? What are you talking about? What coin is this? I'm gonna promote it or whatever. No, I've never in my life promoted another token since I've been with Saitama. So that's not the case, right?
Lily Finance.
I mean, they can say that they're representing me, right? Because they're an advocate for Saitama. Because essentially, you could say the same thing about anybody, right? There's a ton of people that have Saitama in their name and their Twitter handle that are also in spaces, right? That have shield projects that didn't do well or that rug. It doesn't necessarily mean that I condone that. Just because they're an advocate for Saitama, but they're also involved in another community, it doesn't work that way. You still have to, allow people to have a little bit of their freedom there too. It's not just about me or about you or about George, about any individual. It's about the greater good and about the entire community. And creating conflict, amongst each other is the worst possible thing they could do because it creates a divide and it creates an atmosphere that's not conducive for growth. And then we're frustrated, oh, the price is down, the crypto market's tanking, so we're just going to take it out on each other. How is that conducive to growth? It's not. It's times like this where we should be coming together and saying, hey, you're a crypto investor, how's your portfolio looking? Oh, it looks like straight garbage. It's down 30%, 40%, whatever. Yeah, join the club, man. Everybody, I don't care what you are invested in. Maybe you're heavily invested in Luna. Guess what? You're down 60, 70%. Shit sucks. But it doesn't mean I'm going to call out everybody else and blame them or create conflict where there is none to be created. We have to create that unity together and bring, different people in the space together, bring each other up. It's tough for everybody. You don't know what other people are going through. You have no idea. So it's up to us to, bring each other up and create some unity in the space, create some unity within the community, and not just the Saitama community, all of them, right? It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. And if you don't, you just move on quietly. That's it. Walk away smartly. You know, doesn't mean that your opinion is better than anybody else's. Doesn't mean that your perspective is better than anybody else's. It's just, that's it, man. It's mind business. That's all. You know, it's like the old classic saying goes, man, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Because what harm can you do by just leaving it alone? None. Because your opinion is not the same as everybody else's. It's almost saying, you know, like, oh, my opinion, myself, Saitama Guru, is more important than everybody else in the space. It's more important or it's more valued than Peltrons. It's more important and more valued than Torres, or it's more important and more valued than anybody else in crypto because I am all high and mighty. What I say goes, right? No. If I have opinion formulated on my own, keep it to myself. But if there's something I want to do to bring the community together, that's something that I can do and control. But having a diversity in the space is not something that we should be doing. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody because who am I to blame and pass judgment? I'm not. The only thing I can do is try to rectify it, mediate it, and move on. Because what I want to do is create unity in the space. I want crypto to thrive. I want to stop shooting ourselves in the foot and pointing blame and creating animosity and a toxic
This motherfucker can talk.
Pool of misinformation, uneducation, and just straight nonsense. Like we're better than that. All of us, we should be. We're all adults. Last time I checked, we had everybody that I see in crypto is at least 18 years old and fully capable of making big boy and big girl decisions. Right. So we can create a good space that is leading for new investors, or we can continue to mix a melting pot of toxicity that scares off anybody with more than $5, right? And how can we do that? How can we get from here to there? Understanding that current conditions are unstable and there is a lot of animosity, there is a lot of tension. There's a lot of people, not just in your position too, Falcon. I had a lot of money and now it's down to very little.
This is a huge nothing burger. This is just a huge nothing burger. This is Russ like candid.
There's a lot of people in the market that are host spaces today.
So should Russ.
Good way. So it's not creating animosity within the community because it's
been around for a while. I understand DeFi about 1,000 times more than this character over here. When you say things like, all right, kick rocks, hit the door, sell your bags, don't come back, yada, yada. Is that really what we want for your project? Sell your bags and leave? Is that the message that we're trying to impose to the world? If you sell your bags, leave, we don't ever want to see you again, you bum. I have no problem with the guy.
The better message
doesn't even matter to me.
The better message is saying I should have sold that 13 million. That's a better message.
Yeah, so should Russ. Russ should have too, so he would have more money to fund this project. I should have sold.
That sounds like FUD to me.
No, you don't understand DeFi. You're not smart enough. You can't even read Etherscan, my guy.
Sounds like FUD. I mean, I was able to read your wallet, bro. So
you're a cornball.
Sounds like FUD.
Here and over there, man. We're not being.
Listen, but my point is this.
I'm trying to get find a resolution.
Listen, I don't give a shit, Russ. It's fine. I'm not holding anything against you. I'm not even upset. This is not the guy you want running your project, your community.
I'm not a dev.
This is your leader. He can't even read Etherscan, and yet he's the de facto leader of Saitama. What a joke! AMA in the morning, doxing at night. Yeah, hey.
I mean, what do you mean?
That's
like
a great look,
leader,
great look.
I haven't. There is no self, like you said. Like there is no self-appointed.
Russ, he's sipping a little too much. He's trying to in the narrative. Put the bottle down, bro. You sound kind of crazy. No one's a de facto leader of anything. I've never claimed that. I never doxed you. Show me a screenshot of something that shows my name and my face and my number.
50 people in my DMs telling me
that's false. So show me. Can you show me one?
I don't care about you, bro. Show me one? Nothing to me. You're just a nothing. Okay. You're just a clown that comes and.
Okay. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I don't do the name calling and all that stuff, and I'm extremely professional.
Come on, Russ, let him fight.
Maintain that. I thought I had gotten that across earlier before I unmuted, but take it offline, man. If you guys got something to say to each other, do it offline. That's all I ask. Like, there's no reason to create a divide within the community that's not necessary. It's not about how many people you can get to agree with you, or how many people should back you and point fingers at this guy and then point fingers at that guy. Like, it's not. It's not. It's just not really conducive, man, and it's honestly not. So I want to kind of move on from that a little bit and get onto some other things. Right? I want to, first of all, I want to open up this space to get you guys, to communicate, but you can do it offline. Right? I kind of, I encourage it because I don't think it's good to have that kind of divide within the community. It's not. So let's move on from it. Hopefully you guys can sort differences and we can move on. But there's a few people, and again, I welcome the haters. So let me bring up some of the fan club. Austin, man, I saw your post. Let's talk about it. Go ahead, brother. You should be able to speak. I think I unmuted everybody. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we're here. So yeah, I mean, I guess I have to agree with Valtron here. I mean, people sit here and listen to Torres and listen to some of the community members here, and people sit there and say like, oh, Awesome Austin is just a fudder, But the funny reality is I still hold a top 5% of Saitama, and I'm just looking at it differently than a lot of people, and looking at it differently than people in the Wolfpack. And there's a Wolfpack outside of just the people that Faltron and Torres and Anime are all a part of. I mean, there's people that are down significantly on their money and they're upset about it. And so it does suck to go into a space and have someone like Torres, he's a complete asshole, dude. And no one, if they were going in that Saitama space and listening to what he says, I don't see how anyone would ever want to be, buying back into Saitama or joining the Wolfpack. I mean, it's extremely toxic. I mean, and I can sit here and say I speak for a lot of people on that. I mean, and you're saying that he's leading your Wolfpack now, and he's respectful and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's crazy, Russ. I mean, I got to be honest with you, dude. I mean, he's done a lot of things for a lot of people.
I never said that he was. No, nobody. There's no leader of the Wolfpack. Like I said, there's only 6 developers. There's a lot of people in the community that are advocates for Saitama, but it doesn't mean that they're leading the space or leading the charge. Right? A lot of people have done a lot of really good things, like not just ours, not just Feltron, but there's a ton of people. I can see a lot of them in the space right now that have done a lot of great things.
Shout out to Jake Gagan.
No, I'm not saying that, but look at Ryan Patrick. I mean, Ryan Patrick did a lot for the space. Austin Hilton did a lot for the space. Zach Humphries did a lot for the space. They made tons of videos, and they got literally shit on by this whole Wolfpack community, led by Anime and Torres and a lot of other people, because hey, they made some videos and they decided to sell their bag, and then they got completely shit on. And it's like, is that really what you want to come back to? Do you really want to buy this dip? Do you really want to come back into this community and try to build it back up? I mean, trust me, it's like, why would you ever want to do that? Why would you ever want to come into a space where it's led by someone like Faltron or Anime, and all they do is shit on you? I mean, go back and listen to some of these things, where people go in and talk. I mean, you can't even listen to that guy. The guy's a pit bull, dude. He doesn't let you speak. He treats you like shit, and it's like, that's what Saitama's about.
First of all, we don't, like I said, we don't have like a self-appointed leader in the Twitter community or anything like that. Everybody represents Saitama.
All right, guys. Hey, Awesome Austin is streaming right now. I want you guys to go ahead and move to Austin Awesome stream, and support him. Go to the V2. He can touch on his opinion about it. Wait, I know we have a ton of people here. Wait, what I'm gonna do though? Hold on. I'm gonna redo a space, and I'm gonna do a recording of it. Okay, so the Shibnobi, the Shift token dev, is saying that Shibnobi is lying about him. So I'm going to start a space. I'm going to redo this. I'm going to redo this. One second. I'm going to redo that space. Let's see. Hold on. In 20 minutes. So at 10:20, we're going to do that, but I'm going to record it, okay? So go move to Awesome Stream. I'm doing that space because the Shibnobi's coming out with some bullshit. They're talking about, this is crazy right now. I guess they're trying to say that the Shift token dev was like hacking all kinds of crazy shit. And that's not the case. So I'm gonna do that. You guys go to Awesome Stream, go support my mans. And I'm gonna make sure that I make sure I record this. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Migrate. Like the stream before you migrate. Go support Ozamasa. Get over there. He'll tell his story about it. And I'm going to make sure this space is recorded, okay? Oh, we are working today. Let's go. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Go support Ozamasa and hit the like button. You guys have been special. Bye-bye now. I'm going to stream this Shinobi thing too, but, it'll all be recorded. All right. Gotta go. Bye.